Yes, hello. Yes, I'm going to play some Restart, day one of Alone with You. I played it earlier today, but I had paused my downloads. I'm downloading the Elder Scrolls Online update, and it decided that it was going to start downloading. So my stream was incredibly. I'll have that. But yeah, so Alone with You. I bought it last year. Um, like my download of it says April. I thought I had bought it earlier in the year, but yeah, it reminded me of Lifeline, um, the Choose Your Own Adventure novel series of mobile games, and the first one's also on Steam. So yeah, I'm going to restart day one, and then I'm going to PlayStation Plus. I just want to make sure. Yeah, Alone with You, I bought it, and it was one of the games listed in their catalog when I was pre-ordering Indigo Prophecy. I wanted to get Mighty Switch Force, you know, the year-end sale. But yes, I shall start it over. This cannot be done. Yes, I shall start it over because I am going to load my save back up. I only played the first day. Play game. I like the aesthetic of this. It's very retro game, but it's also done like in a watercolor painting style. I highly recommend the Lifeline series of games. Some of the art reminds me of it, so it gave me like a Loom feelings. Yeah, I observed like so much shit on my first playthrough here. Well, my best friend's last name is Doucette. Turn to Colony A. Yeah, you can control the ship. I wanted to play it for Valentine's Day, but by the time I actually got to bed, I was going to play it with remote play and record it then anyway. I was so tired. The ship can't really just observe and everything. It was really weird when I actually learned I can observe stuff. Like, I can't observe that yet. I got stuck here so many times. Let's try not to do that again. Yeah, there's not much you can do until you actually go through the first bit. Can't do any of this. Ship hangar. I could need some Space Quest janitorial work. Oh, this was really cool. How the sink was like drawing a circle. I like that part too. I'm a big fan of AI things, like Monty from Choices in the Sun went out. I'll try to pick the same choices I picked last time. Also, I forgot about the echo. And my controller made a noise. I played with all audio coming from the headphones last time, so my controller did not make a noise. Now I'm kind of concerned when I go back to Death Stranding if I play it. Or my controller not cry, it would come right out of the headphones. I turned this really down too, and it's still quite loud. The Hudson Cartier. Yeah, the AI is working at escaping too. This is where it gets really sad. Like, I wonder if it's a reference to, you know, Winfred Laurier. Because I learned this game was made in Toronto. Winnie Laurier. Peter Tong. Or Pierre Tong. Communications array. The thrusters. We're getting like gizmos and gadgets here now. Leslie Baradwaj. I probably slaughtered that. Ran the Agrodomes. And Gina Mamba. The resource management teams. He could have shown us how to best keep the ship powered and stable. Magic School Bus. Educational games. They can still help us. In a way. I know it's a long shot and it's going to be a little unusual, but if we work together, I think we can make it. Me with my blinking cue from Zero Timelines. I named my character Justice last time, like after Dave Justice, the writer of the first, like the Taylor series. We've been working together a long time, but I don't know your name. What I liked about the Lifeline series with Taylor is that you never gave your name. Like how it does perspective, like how, like on the outside, like when you were on top of the cliff and then as you got closer to the main ground, you got bigger. Yeah, go crew. and examine the note. The note there. Gets stuck in the rubble, try and examine it now. Doesn't let me, like, look at anything when, the AI is asleep. Can't look at my desk. For a while. I like this, the cutscene when you go to sleep. Day 1. 72 hours remain. Good morning. I know you've just woken up, but as we've discussed, time is of the essence. How are you functioning today? Are you well? I'm not sure. I understand. Well, I hope we can get you in shape to deal with what's going on. I'll fill you in if you could just come and see me again in the core. I'm going to examine my ship now. It's the same kind of standard terminal as you'll find around the colony. We can't spare the power cycles for its use at this time, I'm afraid. I wish I could examine my plant. You've left an empty photo frame, a rag, and some non-functioning equipment there. Yeah, my first plan was not to voice any of this. Play it silent, but where I'm restreaming it again, I might as well. It's simulated leather, specially treated to always be comfortable. I'd love to have some fake leather coach, but my cats would ruin it if I had one. The shelf is full of titles on a variety of topics, including sociology, terraforming, and engineering. I'll never understand why people prefer physical books to their digital counterparts. That's my bed. It's not the most comfortable bed, but it's all we have at the moment. At least with nobody around, you don't need to worry about its appearance. Yeah, it's like a fucking prison cell bed. We actually do see some bed rolls in a bit. To the crew's quarters. Okay, let's go look at the note. Look at note. There's a maintenance note that says at YOSP and hashtag AWY game on it. It also says Mr. Yoshida's favorite dog. And I like how it's fucking proper spelling of favorite with the U. Another bonus of the person being from Canada, the developer. Yeah, I actually did go, and it is, that is an account for Mr. Yoshida, and I was using hashtag alone with you, but now I'm switched to hashtag alone with you game. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that means. Yeah, I hope that, like an Easter egg later. Control room. That door is password protected, but it's been jammed shut. Go back to bed. Yeah, too bad there's not like a bad ending like in Lifeline Silent Night where you can just get Chiller to stay in the crew quarters. I wonder if there's like secrets hidden under the bed in the crew quarters, like in Richard's Last Reward. And then if you save there, you fucking corrupt your game. To the AI core. Yeah, see, watch how you get tinier. I love that. Interface with the AI core. Okay, Justice. Last night, I think it would be best if you first go to the comms relay and find 5 communication devices we can use for the escape ship. Well, I thought originally why they wanted 5 devices was that since there's, you know, 4 colony members plus you would have to like trick it into thinking like all 5 people had left. But that's not the case at all. Comms relay is where Winnie Laurier was last known to be. Hopefully you can find out some more information on her on your trip as well. When you're ready, you go south to the shuttle bay and plot a course there. And I accidentally pressed the thing again. I don't know. Okay, good. You didn't make me have to go through a whole bunch. I did that with one later on. It was so much text. So the ship's saying inaccessible to the command hallway. Just one of the thousands of drones that used to help build and maintain the colonies. The poor little guy looks so sad, don't you think? Yeah. They work tirelessly to keep everything running smoothly. Without power and maintenance, they're as dead as anyone else. Believe one colonist repurposed a drone at the end of its life cycle for a beverage server for colony parties. Without the sound of the drones humming about their business, it sure is quiet all around the colonies. Anything else? No. Yeah, let's get go. We get stuck in the rubble again. Okay. The shuttle bay. All assumption inaccessible. Just absorbing everything. Observing, not absorbing. Okay, yeah, this is really cool too. Currently inaccessible, currently inaccessible, currently inaccessible, currently inaccessible. Collins Relay Station, winning. Yeah, I'm gonna go super fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. It's probably been a long time since you've been to the comms relay. I don't believe you had occasion to come here often, if at all. When the other colonists separate it, separate it, it's considered a prime location, but only one person really had the expertise to make good use of it. I don't realize how jarring it is for me to read Americanized text until I'm reading this and like how much, you know, my brain's not going. That word's misspelled. No. Remember, you're looking for components. We can use to power the escape ship's communications. 5 good parts should do it. We'll get back in the ship, leave. Yeah, we got fucking time fall. Just deserve and everything. This gets really cool here. I think I got everything my first playthrough, but I'm just gonna double check. Oh boy, even from here, I can sense how damp and musty it is in there. It probably smells like you're in an old puddle. It smells to you like an old puddle. That's locked. The door appears to be blocked by some kind of security system. I'm gonna use the elevator. Yeah, this is what... It was weird learning how to examine stuff, like scan stuff. The R2 button. That seems rather inefficient, but I suppose tacticality is important in forming emotionally impactful memories. Speaking of which, this looks like, well, it looks like the beginnings of some sort of fiction. That's interesting. It reads The Last Interview with Pamela M. Or Paula M. Paula had suffered a long and arduous struggle against the dark, and now, in her final moments with it, she relented to its questions. These are the only pages included with this notebook. If you want to read the rest, you'll have to find the other pages. This elevator goes up from here. Do you want to go up? I'll say no. Oh shit, I pressed no by accident this time. Yes. I was reading my notification that Jeremy started a party. How are you doing so far? Do you need any help? No, I'm good. You're very resourceful, Justice. If you need a reminder about what you're doing while you're in one of the facilities, just press L2 and I'll help. Remember, you're looking for components that we use to power the ship's communications. The escape ship's communications will need 5 more. No, I don't want to know. I want to see what this is. Like how it's like wet floor. I like when you select something, it turns the color of the button. Conduit room, systems administration. This is a standard issue bedroll. They're made of highly dense microfibers, so they're very lightweight and yet warm. Looks like someone has been using it as a habitat of sorts. Very curious. There's a hoard of old English technology on that dusty shelf. Amazingly, several of the pieces are still functioning. Someone must have collected these old computers, sound systems, and radios. Your scan will help me to fabricate something innovative for the ship, I'm sure. I missed one. There's one down next level that was the first one I examined in the first playthrough. I need 4 more communications parts for this area. Oh well, we'll do it when we get to it. Found a hefty stack of books there. These are mostly adventure stories. You humans sure do love these kinds of fantastic tales. Owner really do prefer physical reading, I see. They surely had access to digital versions of all of these, in fact. There's an entire database. One of the books is something written on the first page, a monogram that simply reads W. It's a portable safety light. They use sophisticated LEDs and can last for over a year each. The lamp looks like part of a little setup, including a bedroll. Someone must have been sleeping there. Please keep me informed of any other interesting details you find. Of course you already knew that. You know, it took over 10 Earth years of R&D to develop that food. Develop food that could travel such distances and still be palatable. Miles O'Brien refused to eat replicator food. Because of the efficiency with which Hudson Cartier transported colony deployments, a lot of food could be included. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's reference to, you know, like the Hudson's Bay Company and John Cartier. Previous colonial missions were less successful because of inefficient cargo and food stores. Of course, until the agrodromes were built, you all had to insist on just these various portable stores. Yeah. It's been jury-rigged to allow non-standard signals. This work is unconventional, but you use this to boost the signal and the escape ship's distress beacon. Now we only need 3 more communications parts from this area. Yeah, we're going a bit differently than my first time playing. There's a section I skipped past, I forgot. Looks like the story starts here. The dark. Why struggle? You know I've been here. I've been waiting all this time. Why didn't you give up? Paula, it's not in my nature just to give up. Really? I'm not so sure about that. For a long time, even amongst your peers, you gave up, or at least you seemed to withdraw from them. Isn't that like giving up? I don't think so. That's interesting, because they did. The further you isolated yourself, the less they felt like reaching out. Didn't you notice that? Yes, I noticed it. I assume there's more. Maybe you'll find more pages of your personal life. Interesting, though, isn't it? Sure is. Let's hope. Hopefully we'll get to read the rest of the story. We should continue. Oh, just sip on my tea. The color scheme here reminds me. There was Mr. Rogers' book. I've been in here. Where what's her name? I can't remember her name. Anyway, she decided that she wanted to have everything the color purple. She was only going to eat purple food, only dress in purple, because it was her favorite color, and that book has stuck with me. Because, you know, purple's my favorite color. So that's what this reminds me of, like, the illustrations in that book. Locker room unlocked to Tower Bridge. Yeah, this is where I went first, the Tower Bridge. Yeah. Looks like a further set of pages from the field notebook on the first floor. The story continues. So what made you change your mind? You're here, talking to me now. You wouldn't have entertained that before. What changed? Well, this is the end, isn't it? There's no one else out there. So I'm talking to you. You know that's not true. There's still others out there. You can hear them on your radio. But they don't know that. They don't know I made a new radio. No, of course not. That's what makes you so interesting. You withdraw, but in your way, you still reach out. You just don't want anyone to discover that. Paul silent for a moment. Fall silent for a moment. The story sounds like it's getting serious. I'm curious, who are you siding with right now? Paula or the dark? Neither. Maybe you're right. We should see how this story plays out first. For now, let's move on. This is the first room I see. Small pile of physical books. All columnists were issued data pads with e-reading abilities. But I suppose that wasn't to everyone's liking. There are assorted philosophy titles from old human writers. You can see very neat notes written in the margins. Like those other books you found. These all have the W monogram written on the first page. Yeah, like last time where I saw this first, then this line about the monogram was on the other bookshelf. Looks like a box of Kleenex there. Torn pages. Copper relay conduit. Looks like someone had repaired this terminal more than once in an attempt to continue transmissions. There's some clever work here. Your scan will help me configure the ship's communication parts to be more redundant and fail-safe. Now we only need 2 more communication parts from this area. Just double checking. I forget anything. There we go, saving. To locker room. The little questions the AI asked me a little bit reminds me of Monty's, like, little questions that Monty asks that eventually do have impact. Stack of pocket-sized physical books. You see, I see. Looks like they're mostly guides to social interaction and workplace issues. I suppose whoever owned these books was, as you say, bony. Is that what you say? Yeah, one of the people I live with came out, so I had to mute my mic. Yeah, that roof is warm. Yeah, I notice it doesn't have as many puddles. Yeah, the used bedroll on that tower ledge doesn't have used bedroll on it unless you've discovered another used bedroll. Like, it's not one of the ones you can actually examine first to learn what that is. Yeah, I was thinking of William, one of my Echo Bazaar characters, named William. Return to the sleeping bag. Excellent, you've arrived. Place me in the core immediately so we can process your findings. Poor drone. With my core as a guide, the drones worked in highly organized teams to complete dangerous or monotonous tasks very quickly. Oh, there's a Z. Not an S, there's a Z. Not the British spelling, buddy. Just go to bed. Don't interface, just go. Just go to private quarters. Wish going to different rooms saved, auto-saved a bit, so then you could choose when to quit more. Okay, I've synced the data we collect. and collect it today. Oh, here. Thank you for bringing this to me. I have good news as well. I've got the Holosim chamber up and running. The constructs of the 4 colonists are already loaded. They're already working on helping you, but due to the currently limited availability of power and processing cycles, the chamber is a little shaky. Retire to your quarters. When we've got the Holosim stable enough for you to enter, I'll call for you. The main hallway. Don't know how they can eat so much junk in the middle of the night. Yeah, I can't really do anything to keep asleep. Oh. Or they're asleep. I don't know. Ambiguously gendered AI program. Like HelpBot, where I call it HelpBot it. Instead of they. I usually use they for, you know, like, ambiguously gendered. But with HelpBot was it. It's omnipresent dread. To show you something. Yeah. I think you have the more lights off regularly, so you can save on some. Look at the note again. I wonder if it's Tofu-chan. Tofu-chan's my favorite dog. And we can begin. And go to the main hallway. Oh, it actually let me. I thought it like had paused for a second to be like, no. Thank you for coming. The chamber will only work at night when other systems are powered down. It's a limitation of our current situation, I'm afraid. It also means that I'll be in low power mode too, so you'll be on your own in there. I won't be able to see or hear what happens. So time you get in the chamber will be strictly between you and whoever you're seeing that day. In the morning, the holograms will sync their data and ideas with me. Tonight, you'll be meeting Winnie Laurier for the first time. Since the comms relay was her domain, it makes sense that you visit with her. Remember, these holographic recreations, they're based on data backups I kept for each key member of the colony. They are, in effect, the very same people. However, after the Rift event, which is, you know, it just mentioned, like, you know, bury the lead there, broke off communication with other parts of the facility, and I lost track of these people. I was no longer able to keep them up to date. These constructs won't remember anything past a certain point. They might be a little touchy about that, so please be careful. Anyway, when you're ready, enter the chamber and use the control station with Wynn. When you're finished, you can return to your quarters. I was worried that they would be really pissed if you, like, mentioned that they were a hologram. But Winnie's pretty chill. I'll speak with you again in the morning. Good luck in there. I'll say see you. And seeing you. Yes, indeed. Let's hope these visits prove fruitful. We are in quite the situation. I wonder if you have to be nice to them for, like, different endings. I'm gonna look around. Look around, strut around. Begin the Holosim program. With the pen. Pride colors. Oh. Hi there. Don't mind me. I just need to finish these calculations. I'll be done in a moment. The AI told me about your trip today. Did you find those items you needed? I did. I'm glad. I'm sure this must be very difficult for you. Anyway, I think I'm done here for now. I guess, let's have a seat on the sofa. I could use a break. Hologram needs a break. The AI has us all working quite a bit. We can simulate pretty much whatever we need in here to figure out how to best help you. Whatever you scan out there, the AI can give to each of us in here so we can keep working. It's a pretty smart setup, really. I chose to make my work environment this room. It's how I remember my old apartment back on Earth. Is that weird? I almost said no why, but I did say for last time I said not at all, so I'll go with that again. Thank you for saying so. It's not the most practical choice, but having all my old books here and the sofa, it feels like home. Anyway, the AI must certainly be keeping you busy as well, so I'm glad you're here. And since you are, well, what would you like to talk about? You pick. Oh, well, as you can probably tell, I'm not great at small talk, but okay, let's see. That's a mood. How about books? Do you read much? Voraciously, going by their room. Oh, well, me too. I mean, obviously, you might have noticed that, I guess, since apparently you found a bunch of my books. The AI told me about that. I really like adventure stories, big, complicated ones. I suppose to help deal with the relative closeness of living in the colony. I could imagine I was anywhere, and the Hudson Cartier manual said that escape was important to thriving in a remote colony. I suppose that's partially why we were equipped with this holostone chamber. It wasn't standard issue, so the higher-ups must have felt it was important. At least it wasn't. Hopefully it's not like Tacoma, or obsolete since day. There are programs that we all brought with us. I don't know much about what the other people did in there. Maybe some took exotic vacations. Did the company add this holo chamber in the event? Like, you know, knowing that that was a possibility, this huge rift event. William, I mean, Maintenance Chief King, I think he had some version of his wife in there. She didn't come with him. She stayed on Earth. He never said anything about it, but I could tell it got to him. I mean, it did to all of us. Most of us were, well, alone. Normally Hudson Cartier wouldn't allow colonists to be separated from their loved ones. They came as a package, or they didn't go at all. Kept stress down, they said. But William, well, he was a bit older, and the best candidate for the job. I suppose HC knew how important he was to the mission. Damn, I wonder what his wife is doing. If she's still alive back on Earth, I wonder if she knows, you know, what happened to us. Do you want to talk about anything else? I was asked about the colony. I like this color that my controller is. It's a nice soft pink. The light on the PlayStation 4 front is like a nice soft pink. We had as much a chance as anyone at making this work. In the end, I don't think I could believe it was going to fail. I could quite believe it was going to fail. Y'all arrived here when? 2048? What year is it now? 2064. So 16 years. So much has happened, and there was so much needless loss. Oh, and it blinks in between switching the dialogue box too. That's really cool. By the time we all arrived here in 2048, the remote colony building systems had all the basics ready. Most people were pretty excited to get started. But I had a harder time adjusting. Space travel will do that to some people. At least that's what the head psychologist, Mrs. Bouchard, told me. Something about how close everybody was, you know, it's easy to feel trapped. We trained for all of that, of course, but the real thing is different. Yeah, talk about ship's comms now. Well, as I'm sure the AI explained, my job is to help you get the escaped ship's communication systems repaired, so you don't blast off into space with no voice. Even if everything else is functioning, you wouldn't want to be out there with no way to contact anyone. I think I'd rather be adrift than not have a working radio. But I think the AI's plan is sound. If you can contact someone from a shipping lane, and hopefully arrange a pickup. Kind of like something a ride back on Earth, I guess. I never did that. Now that I think of it, I definitely was too, well, afraid to try it. Oh, sorry, I'm talking too much. Odd, I don't think I've ever talked this much before when I was, well, real. Alive. I wonder why that is. It's kind of funny because she looks like me. Anyway, so you were in the comms relay today, huh? What was it like out there? It was damp. It was empty. Show pages. You what? Oh, you found a notebook, didn't you? With a story in it? Oh no, that's embarrassing. Yeah, that notebook was mine. I was writing stories to pass the time and to deal with things. I always wanted to write a book, but I never did. I guess I figured it was my only chance to try. I know it wasn't very good. I guess I was trying to put my thoughts and, well, my feelings in some kind of relatable way. That was pretty obvious. It's probably pretty obvious. It's funny though, now that I think of it. I don't know how that story ends. I can't remember everything I wrote. Yeah, because it was probably, your backup's probably before that. What do you think of it? What you read? I mean, if you read it, it was good. Really? Well, thanks. I appreciate you saying so. That means a lot. What else do you think of the comms relay? It was damp. The acidic rain must really be wearing it down then. It was one factor that we couldn't probably account for. Hudson Cartier knew of the weather systems on the planet, of course. It had a decade's worth of survey data with which to plan for this project. But I guess a decade only tells you so much. The systems changed, and the acidic rain became much worse and much more frequent. I'd be surprised if any of the structure there didn't suffer damage. In Colony B, we had it the worst. Things eroded so fast. Comms relays seemed relatively intact, but even so, it was tough to keep the equipment working. I can still feel the chill of that place somehow. Maybe it's a good thing you have that scarf. It's warm, it's stylish, do you want it? It's stylish. I suppose it is. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. What else do you think about the comms relay? It was empty. The 5 towers in the relay. You must have been in Tower A. It never was completed. The relay was designed to be redundant, so not everything was in one place, and there were always backups to critical systems. I was the one who designed it, or consulted on the key components, back on Earth. But not everything was built to spec. This is what reminded me of that episode with on Deep Space Nine where that one from that heavy gravity planet or light gravity planet came and like had a wheelchair built, and Bashir fucked with the specs. However, there were some issues with some of the drones. We lost some capabilities, so we had to think on our feet. That's why Tower A is only half finished. Seems like almost nothing went the way it was supposed to. It's so awful to think about all those people. I know. You have it worse though. To be the last, I can't even bear to think about it. So it kind of sounds selfish, but as I work in here, I keep thinking about the fact that I'm here, and yet, well, I'm not. I can see you, obviously, and it all seems real, but I'm not here, am I? I'm not really around anymore. So obviously something happened to me. I mean, the real me, but I can only remember so far back. I guess the AI's version of me only accounts for so much. It's like a backup, I suppose. The me you see. This is the most recent version, but does it count? Does any of this matter if I'm not even real? You are to me. Okay, thanks. It means a lot that you think so, and that you came here to talk to me. I mean, not just for work. Look, I don't want to keep you here, considering all you've had to worry about. You need to rest, and still have so much to do. But, do you mind to see if you can find out what happened to me? Maybe find some kind of record of what I went through? I'll try. Okay, I appreciate it. I know you have more important things to worry about. Anyway, thanks again. Good night. nice of you. I like how they make you go to bed right away instead of like syncing your data. But then again, maybe her thoughts after having talked with you are important too. And you go bed though. You go bed. Yeah, I'll do this and I'll start the first bit of day 2, and this will be the end of this, and I'll reload my save from last time. Because I kind of like the idea of having my first playthrough be my first playthrough. Day 2. Good morning, Justice. I received notice that the Holosim chamber had been successfully accessed. How did it go? Really well. That's wonderful to hear. I hear Miss Laurier is able to give you some helpful information on repairing the escape ship. Not really. I received information from Miss Laurier's construct this morning. I had to return to a full waking state. Whatever happened in there, it appears to have helped her problem solving a bit more effectively in regards to the escape ship. I'm already crunching numbers on your ideas. I think this plan of ours is going to really help us out. In the event you can return to the core when you're ready, I've got some new mission options for you today. Hopefully, the twist isn't that you're actually a hologram too. That's why there's no picture there. Or drone. Now that you've been to the comms relay and we have the Holosim chamber working, I think it's time to branch out a bit. I have a few choices. First, we can try to recover plant material at the agrodomes. We need to start equipping the escape ship material for the food processors. Leslie, Barajawaj ran the agrodomes, so if you need to head there today, you can meet her tonight in the Holosim chamber. Next is a columnist called the Caves. What the column is called the Caves. Our energy mining processing center. Lines available to visit. We could use more resources for fuel, like Tungus site. Research manager Jean Lumumba was responsible for energy production, so if you head there, you'll see us tonight in the Holosim chamber. Next is Well Colony B. Due to recent shifts, it's finally accessible again, although I'm reluctant to send you there. It's likely in a terrible state, but it might still have parts we can salvage for the escape ship's thrusters. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to check. That's probably what I'm going to pick, because if there's shifts, it might not be accessible later. If you visit there, you'll get to meet Director Pierre Tong tonight in the Holosim chamber. He might not like what we discovered, though. Discovering more about each colonist is key to our survival. The more you can connect with their constructs, the more helpful they'll be to us. When you're ready, you can head south to the shuttle bay to plot a course to one of the areas. I'll stop the stream, and then I'm going to do a few things, and I might come back and do the next day. Settings, stop broadcast.